We're in Tainan, Taiwan. This place is regarded as the country's culinary capital, and there is a ton of street food here. So we're going on a massive food hunt today.
If you love to eat, Tainan is the city for you. In this video, we hunt down some of the best food in the city widely regarded as Taiwan's culinary capital. Watch out for the freshest oyster omelette, Tainan's famous snacks, and the most ingenious biscuit oven you've ever seen.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
Tainan is known as the city of snacks, and we're starting our day with our first snack of a Taiwanese oyster omelette from this store right behind me. Let's go and get one.
Yeah.
Or oyster omelette in front of us, and how good does this thing look? There's tons of plump oysters in there, and it's smothered in a variety of sauces. And I think what is best about this setup is that we are literally sitting right on the street at the chef's kitchen. So we've got all the ingredients lined up in front of us. There's the eggs, there's oysters on ice, there's bean sprouts, fresh lettuce, and you can watch the chef at work. Let's rip into this thing. I want to show you all the multitude of ingredients that make up this oyster omelette. So look at that, all the fresh sliced lettuce, and then some bean sprouts. There's some pickles, or maybe, yeah, pickles, or actually it might be some meat. It might be some mince actually. And then those plump oysters. So let's get a huge bite. Swipe it through those sauces. Okay. Oh, this looks so good. Oh, those oysters, they are so fresh, really briny, have a beautiful sea flavor. And then what makes the oyster omelette in Taiwan really unique is the potato starch. So it binds everything together, and it almost has like a silky, tiny bit gluggy texture in the mouth, but this one doesn't have a huge whack load of that potato starch. Sometimes it can be too much and the whole thing's really gluggy. This chef has just put just enough to bind everything together. Let's swipe another mouthful through this sauce. Okay. The flavors are so fresh. You can really taste the flavor of the egg, the bean sprouts, the oysters, the lettuce, and that sauce there is quite sweet. It's almost like a sweet fermented bean sauce. And then there's another sauce on there which is tastes a bit like hoisin sauce. This is really good. It is so full of texture and flavor.
A really popular breakfast here in Tainan is milkfish congee. So we're gonna go grab some from this place here.
We've got our bowl of milkfish congee on the table, and to go with it we ordered a Teochew, which is a fried dough fritter. So congee is a rice porridge, and you can see here that this one is quite a soupy one. So you've got this fish stock, and then the rice grains underneath. There's also a bit of minced pork and I think some coriander and some roasted garlic. And then the star of the show is this huge fillet of milkfish. So you can see it's been totally deboned. And then this dark bit in the middle here is the milkfish belly, which is sort of quite fatty looking. Okay, let's get into this thing. I'm gonna get a huge bite of the milkfish. It just fell apart. And then some of that congee. Whoa, that has a really beautiful flavor. The congee has got a really strong seafood flavor, and also you can really taste that fried garlic. And then the fish is just really mild, really tender, and it just breaks apart in your mouth. I'm gonna go for another bite. There's a little bit of that belly in there. The belly is really fatty, it just dissolves in your mouth. Let's go again. Grab a piece of that milkfish, it just broke clean away. It's just a really simple, clean tasting bowl of food. And the way they make the congee is they simply take a ladle of cooked rice and then they pour the broth over the top. So the broth and the rice are really separate. You can really just get spoonfuls of that broth. It's really flavoursome. It tastes very savoury. And then the rice adds a bit of texture. And then what you do with the youtiao is you just break a bit off, and then you can just pop it into the congee and then just give it a bit of texture. So we'll let it wallow for a little bit and then let's just try it. It's really simple. It's a lightly salted dough fritter. It's quite oily and it's soaked up that broth, so when you bite into it, it sort of oozes with broth.
We're walking down these tiny little lanes in the city, and there's a beautiful smell in this lane, and that's because we're going to this little place behind me where they do cookies or biscuits, and it looks like these are made in a really neat way. That was so cool watching the cookies being made. They had such a neat contraption to put them together. They do two sorts. So we've got this miso one here is what we saw getting made. They also do a egg one, which is just their normal one. We're gonna have the miso ones because that's what we saw getting made then. And she took a really thick batter and put it on the hot plate, but then closed the hot plate down and it was gas fired underneath. And what I loved is once she closed that down and spread all this batter out, then when she spun that big machine around, every time she moved it one step, the hot plate would turn over. So each side got exactly the same amount of heat as it worked its way around. Then she peeled the quite big piece of cookie, which was really soft still, off, almost like a thick pancake in texture it looked like, placed it with a little sort of a bar on it just to give it a bit of a shape. So you can see here, it's got an indentation in it. And that's because of that bar. And then once it was not quite hard, she cut it into these little strips, and now it is cooled and it is super, super solid. It's gonna be really crunchy. So let's get into it. Whoa. That is really crunchy. But quite light. It's a little bit aerated. So this is miso flavored, but I can't taste a whole lot of miso. It sort of just tastes like a plain biscuit or a cookie. Quite sweet, really nice, just really moreish. There's not too much strong flavor, so this packet I think is going to disappear really quick. And that is a really cool place to watch those getting made. And it's 4th generation, so they've certainly perfected the recipe. Oh, good. I just ate a ton of those biscuits because they were so moreish and easy to eat. And they got really salty as they went on, which was really nice. It balanced out that sweet flavor. Now, on the way to this biscuit place, we saw a ice jelly, like grass jelly place on the side of the road. It looked amazing and refreshing in this hot weather we're having here today. We're gonna go grab one. We got this ice treat that was whipped up right on the street for us. So it's a really chunky ice which he hand ground into this, but underneath the ice he put a couple of different jellies. There was definitely a grass jelly, a black one that he put in there. Let's dig in. And then there's a much lighter jelly too. I'm not really sure what that one is. There was also some sugar syrup that went on the top of that ice after he'd shaved it in using that hand ice grinder. And it's a really thick grind, so it's melting really quick. Oh, yum. It's not too sweet from the sugar. The ice is, of course, super cold, and it's really, really hot here, so that is perfect. Let's grab another spoon with both of those jellies in there. Oh, it's melting so quick. The grass jelly is really nice. Just a tiny bit bitter. And the other one, the clear jelly, I have no idea what it is. It's got a sort of a herbal taste. That's even more bitter actually. But it's really refreshing in its bitterness, and I love that it's not too sweet. It's so good. It's completely collapsing. Like, it's turning to jelly soup really quickly. But man, what a refreshing thing to have, and I love how they're being made right on the street there.
Continues, and next up we're going to eat a wagwe, which is a savory rice pudding.
Wow. Oh wow.
We've got our wagwe or savory rice pudding here, and I'm just going to dig into it. Look at it, it's so sticky. So at the bottom here there's a lot of meat, so things like pork and salted egg, I believe, and how they make it is they pour a ground rice batter onto the top, and then they steam it, and then they pour the sticky sauce on top. So let's just try a bite. Oh, that bite I think had some dried shrimp in it, a really strong seafood flavour, and it's just a really smooth, sticky, gluggy consistency.
They've got this super runny garlic mixture on the table, so I'm going to dump a big spoon of that in there. And there's also some sort of chili sauce. It's really light in color, so let's put that on. That might actually be a little bit of horseradish based or wasabi. Let's just dig in, lots of that garlic and that chili. Whoa, that garlic is super strong, like having a nude garlic clove raw and just popping it in your mouth and crunching down on it. Massive burst of flavor. And that chili is a little bit tangy. It is sort of horseradishy actually. It's got a little bit of tanginess to it, really good spice level. And this texture of this pudding, I absolutely love it. Oh, look at that. It's a duck egg there, salted duck egg. Oh, awesome. I'm gonna try and break that up. Actually, let's just get a huge spoon. Oh man. Oh, look at that texture. I'll never fit that all in. Let's try. The sauce on top is really nice and sweet. The texture of the rice is amazing. And then I love all the flavors. You've got the savory flavors of the meat and the salted duck egg, sweetness of that sauce, and then adding these really helps, particularly the garlic. That just really bursts. Oh, really good. Tainan has so much food. There is just food everywhere. So that's our first video of the 3 we're gonna make here before we head to Taipei to make way more food videos. It's been a really good food day.
Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button. A ton more food videos to come. Pop a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of this video. And please give this video a huge thumbs up. And if you want to support more Chasing a Plate content, check out our Patreon page. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. 再见!
再见!